When we think of maps, we usually picture north at the top and south at the bottom. So it might sound a little strange when someone says that Upper Egypt is in the south and Lower Egypt is in the north. But in ancient Egypt, direction wasn't just about geography. It was about the flow of life itself, the flow of the Nile River. The Nile River, the lifeblood of Egypt, flows from the highlands of East Africa in the south, northward to the Mediterranean Sea. That means the land in the south is higher in elevation, while the land in the north is lower. So when the ancient Egyptians said Upper Egypt, they were referring to the upstream region, the higher lands closer to the source of the Nile. And Lower Egypt referred to the downstream region and the flat delta where the river fans out before reaching the sea. In other words, Upper Egypt is higher, not further north. This natural divide between upper and lower lands shaped the entire history of ancient Egypt. For centuries, there were actually two separate kingdoms, Upper Egypt, which stretched from Aswan to just south of modern Cairo, and Lower Egypt, which covered the Nile Delta and northern lands near the Mediterranean. Each kingdom had its own crown and its own ruler. The king of Upper Egypt wore the white crown, called the Hejet, while the king of Lower Egypt wore the red crown, known as the Deshret. When King Narmer, also known as Menes, united the two lands around 3100 BC, he combined both crowns into one, the double crown, symbolizing the unity of Upper and Lower Egypt. That's why ancient Egyptians often called their country the Two Lands. Upper Egypt was narrow and rugged, bordered by cliffs and deserts, with the Nile carving a green lifeline through dry valleys. It was home to powerful temples and ancient cities like Thebes and Luxor, centers of religion and kingship. Lower Egypt, on the other hand, was wide and fertile. Its delta opened Egypt to the Mediterranean world, making it a hub of trade and culture. Together, these two regions, one higher and spiritual, the other lower and fertile, created one of the world's greatest civilizations. So when we say that Upper Egypt is in the south and Lower Egypt in the north, it's not a mistake. It's a reflection of how the Egyptians understood their world, through the rhythm of the Nile. To them, the south was up not because of direction, but because it was upstream, closer to the source of life. The north was down because it was downstream, where the river ended its sacred journey. The Nile didn't just shape Egypt's land, it shaped its language, its religion, and its identity. It taught them to see life as a journey flowing from one level to another, from source to destiny. So the next time you look at a map of Egypt, remember this: the south was upper, the north was lower, and the Nile was the thread that connected it all. If you enjoyed this story, there's so much more to explore. Discover how rivers, kingdoms, and cultures shaped Africa's past and still echo in our world today. Subscribe to Journey Through Africa for more untold stories and ancient mysteries. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Tell us what part of Egypt's history fascinates you most.